Hello and welcome. I'm Mercy from HereThereBeMonsters, and we are here to enjoy the first semifinals best of 3 match in the Nano-Swarm Haze Valorant tournament hosted by Affinity Gaming's first-person shooter Discord server. Very, very excited about this. This is our second time working with Affinity Gaming to shoutcast a tournament. Last time we did the Biohazard Blitz back in December. It was a lot of fun. My co-caster at that point was Eden. Today we are going to have Bloomz with us, and it is his birthday, so make sure you show him a little bit of extra love. This tournament was an 8-team tournament. They completed their group stage already, and this is the first of the semifinals matches. So today we have Affinity Gaming, for which the server is named, and Home Depot playing against each other. And tomorrow we'll be back with the other semifinals match. So semifinals will be wrapped up tomorrow night. The finals come to us next Saturday, the 17th, and I don't have the start time worked out for that just yet. The grand finals will be a best of 5 matchup though, so it will probably start a little bit earlier in the day.
Hello, everyone.
Now that Bloomz is here, if you could go ahead and give him some friendly fires in chat to celebrate his birthday when you hear this. He is here. I guess I won't say the number. I'll leave that up to him. But he's here spending part of his birthday evening celebrating with us, and we really, really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. I think it's going to be a really good game today. We've got Affinity against Home Depot.
Do you have any predictions, you know, if you had a chance to watch any of the earlier tournament games, expecting to see anybody in particular playing, you know, any agents in specific, or going to be kind of a surprise to you too?
So I watched the last match with Affinity. Now, between their first match and their second match, I think about 4 out of 5 players changed up characters, and they did win that first match. And there was nothing going wrong, obviously, but they did just want to change it up, even though they won. So I think we'll see that again tonight. I'm not sure what we'll see first, but I did see a couple players shifting from attack to defensive plays, and also from defensive to attack. So they might not do that tonight, but it really is open in the air, actually.
That'll be kind of fun to see. During the Biohazard Blitz back in December, we saw the teams being very, very set in their ways as far as the agents they picked. I think throughout the entire best of 3, you know, with effectively 30 picks, I think we only saw maybe like 13 agents. No, not even 13, sorry, because you can double pick on both teams. I think we saw maybe like 8 different agents.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be very different.
Hey, there's the friendly fires.
Especially this match, I think it's going to be very different because Home Depot, who are playing tonight, actually run a lot of games just, you know, in every day. And what they do is they don't actually pick their characters. They do a random generator, and they just get whatever character that pops out. So they know how to play pretty much every agent in the whole game. So we're going to see some interesting stuff from them tonight.
Do you think they're going to pull that in the semifinals here?
I think on paper, Affinity's got a very, very strong team. Home Depot definitely knows how to use their utility. So I think those two aspects. Affinities come from the realms of Counter-Strike, very point and click. But the Home Depot, I think, might know how to use their abilities a little better. So that it's going to be interesting how we see those two.
All right. So we think we're going to see kind of a match off of gunplay versus abilities.
I think so. Yep.
Interesting.
And if abilities get used towards the start of some maps, I think Affinity will hold off, and just their strong point is playing just point and click. So I think it's going to be interesting.
I'm looking forward to it. I see we do have one other observer here. Are we supposed to be doing anything with that person, or are they doing their own thing?
They're doing their own thing.
Okay. It looks like we have Haven to start off. Any particular agents that you see as being noteworthy for holding, you know, specific aspects of this map, or mainly just kind of stick with player's choice?
So I've seen Fiora on here on the right hand side. He's got Omen. I think Omen's a very strong character for this map in particular. No really noteworthy changes that I would say people are picking here. I'm seeing very similar choices than to what their normal main character would be. So I think they're just going to test the waters with this first map. I don't see any surprises in choices here. I think the teams were very similar when they played the group stages.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Kind of feel each other out, see what adjustments need to be made from there.
Yep.
Any particular, obviously we still have a few shadow picks here on the defenders. Any particular weaknesses that you're seeing or strengths that they can exploit, you know, versus the already picked
Choose
squad?
your agent.
Affinity on the left-hand side, very strong attackers and defenders, and same with Home Depot. There's no real imbalance. They've got a really good balance of attack and defense here. So good choices on both teams.
All right. And it looks like as far as names that I know within the community, I see Dewey and Hypno versus Fiora and Eden, so that's kind of fun.
Yep. And G Sharp is Greg as well, so you'll know Greg.
Excellent. All right, my observer cam is linked to you.
Great.
And I knew there was something else that I forgot to write down. Look really quickly at the buttons for turning on and off light lines and stuff. R, and then H is all outlines. R, H.
Looks like they'll be splitting mid this first map. A couple going window and a couple going through garage. So let's take a first look here on as they push through garage.
Here. 5-man push, or at least a start of it down middle there, so we could potentially see if the defenders are feeling frisky. They could flank here. Looks like defenders are going to wait it out, though.
Bomb buddy out. Out of I dropped the spike.
Really kind of feeling each other out, waiting to see who uses more resources, trying to pick that headshot. And looks like a little attention over on, yikes, from Hunky there, picking up a double kill.
One enemy remaining. Spike down mid.
Spike down on mid. So you saw that was very slow in mid there. It was very controlled, very slow. That's definitely playing to the likes of Affinity there.
Yeah, it seemed like the defenders really got what they wanted out of that. They identified that the attackers were kind of stacked up on it and really just waited them out. And then obviously some great gunplay there from Hunky to pick up 2 on the way through the door. Oops, sorry.
Looks like we're going to see an heavy A attack on this on this round.
Lots of ability usage, kind of blocking off each other's vision, trying to cut each other off. The defenders trying to buy time for rotations back from C, which it looks like they have accomplished. Potential here for player number 1 to get a significant flank. If you want to tap that button, Jared. Perfect timing. Look at that. Hypno catches them with their pants down. Well done.
Beautiful shot from Hypno there. When Hypno is on, he's definitely on.
So I think, and obviously 2 rounds in, there's plenty of time left to go here, but we see the defenders using time a little bit more effectively. I think the attackers could potentially do with a rush. Now, they do need to be careful. They've tried B and they've tried A. If they just rush C, I think that's not going to work real well.
Yep. Let's see what Hypno can do here. 1.
Spike down mid.
Got a couple.
Yeah, good kills. I think it's worth it for them. I mean, obviously, Hypno, bummer to have him go down so early in the round, but 2 good, clean kills. And same thing, buys time. We have the defenders rotating around. Yep.
Spike down C. 1 enemy remaining.
Yeah, I think not necessarily like a significant disparity in player skill or anything here. Just controlling the tempo really well.
Yep, and that's exactly what it is. It's that tempo control.
And I'm sorry, I have mixed myself up here. Defenders are Affinity.
Defenders are Affinity and attackers are Home Depot. Yep. Going to see our first play on C site coming up.
Potentially a true and proper rush as well with a 3 and 2 split. Back away from the jet smoke. Gonna play for mid again. Hypno really coming through, catching people off guard, rotating through middle, kind of on the side there. The attackers, I think, at this point, honestly, might do best to try and rotate over to A, but might be feeling a little, what's the term I want? Might be feeling a little pot committed would be if we were playing poker, but that would have been a good pick.
Good kill for Mead in there.
Sunk cost fallacy was what I was wanting. Yeah, giving up another kill there in Charlie. I still think if only they could see the minimap with us, this would be a solid time to rotate to A. And it looks like maybe, yep. This works out really well too with Eden being first into the site because we have Fiora can cover her flank while she's planting. So they get called out by the arrow. Ooh, good pickup from Fiora there. This could be the first win we have for our attackers.
1 enemy remaining.
Dewey picks up both of the kills though and has plenty of time to defuse. Well done.
Clutch.
Very strong start to Affinity here.
Yeah, so I guess with the with the agent setup that we have, we see ultimates coming online for the first time here for both teams. What can our attackers do to try and break this momentum?
I think they have to rush in with their abilities quite quickly before these rotates take place. You can see Dewey setting up his camera here. He's very, very effective in how he sets up with Cypher. We'll just show his view on him. Getting a few shots, putting up some cages, and then we'll see him fall back now. Using his camera very effectively. Getting some info.
A lot of trust in his teammates too to be looking at camera there with multiple people firing off shots pretty close to him.
Yep.
So far though, just a trade 1 for 1. We do see the attackers trying to rotate back across middle to try and get over to Charlie. They give up 1 for it, but if they can get a good plant, it might be worth it. Getting a little bogged down here though.
And this is the trouble. They're getting bogged down, I think, a little too easily.
For you.
My guess as a Dota player would be that they actually may have been waiting on that heal cooldown and really might have kind of busted their own chops on the tempo there.
30 seconds left.
Picking up a good kill though, and we do see... Nice, I was going to say. We see a good kill opportunity on Jet there, so... Hunky, however, surprises Eden trying to go for the plant. That was a better attempt that we saw from them there, but a little outmanned, a little outgunned again. Mainly, honestly, because of a combination of Hypno and Dewey picking up those. It's during those rotations, getting one or two going through middle.
Yeah, exactly. I think Dewey's info he gets with his camera, he's very effective to take on C site. A site, sorry. I mean A site.
Enemy kill.
Good pick up by the attackers there.
Looks like they're rotating now across through to A site.
Yep, a little snappier decision making this time. If they push it quickly off of that kill, that can act as kind of a fake for them. They're about to give up some info though here to to Dewey again.
Poison's off.
Rotating out of A.
Trying to take B with their momentary numbers advantage here. They do give up one kill, but if they can take one or two, they can still hold it. Rough with the Reyna not getting taken out there though. Eden picks up a kill on the Phoenix, so we don't have to worry about any shenanigans there.
Last player standing.
Gonna need a big clutch, yeah. Yeah, tough. She was getting two people coming in from A, one from C. Tough situation to hold with one. Yeah, I feel like looking at their squad over on Home Depot, they lack a little bit of the kind of scouting information gathering capability that we're seeing Affinity put to really good use. And I realize to some extent that's also just a defender's prerogative, but
And we can see how slow they were out of spawn. I think they're a bit not quite sure in terms of what direction to take here. 6-0 down.
Yep, I was gonna say it's tough at this point to kind of just to overcome that mental hurdle. We see potentially a quicker push on B here though. They need to go. They need to capitalize on it because again we see the defenders rotating in.
Spike down B.
An eco kill from Smee and an early spike plant, but just don't have the manpower to hold it at this point. Good pick up from Fior though. He's trying. Trying to gun swap, trying to defend the plant. Or not defend the plant, trying to grab the spike.
I'm good. This game might be over pretty soon with a 7-0 start. Let's see if they can get on the board. These Home Depot.
Yeah, you never know. Last, I don't remember the exact timing of it, but I do remember during the Biohazard Blitz in December, we saw a start not entirely different from this, and the other team really pulled it together. Sometimes this kind of thing, you can steal momentum pretty quickly. If they get a round or two, we can see a swing. Good pickup from Dewey there, using the cameras to see inside of Jet's smoke. And of course, most of the battlefield here covered with a whole array of of abilities.
One enemy remaining.
We see the Brimstone ult coming in almost a little bit superfluously, but I guess it was kind of to scare him out of the reads. I will give it to him that time though. That was much more organized than we've been seeing from them. A much better hit on the site and much faster. So sometimes you just come out on the wrong end of it anyway. But they did solve the problems that we've been identifying that time at least.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a very big shakeup of characters for the next round. But it almost looks like they may have given up this first game already.
I mean, sometimes there's definitely some logic to bunting when you get down this far, just to save the morale.
Healing you.
Not that I'm saying they're not going to try it all, but at that point, it starts becoming almost more about feeling out the meta of the match of like, okay, who's doing what? You know, what can we do to pressure their play style?
Blinding.
Getting a good trade there for the attackers. However, Cherry comes in and evens it back out again. We do still have a resurrection though from Sage, so we could see the attackers taking this first one.
Spike planted.
Fire in the hole.
And surprisingly, we actually see Sage hold that. Oh,
And straight back, straight back.
wow. I was going to say holding the ultimate. So that's actually a really big take for them beyond just the, morale swing that we were talking about earlier. But they come out of that with a win and hold the Sage ult and pick up the Omen ult as well. So that could lead to another round here, which 2 rounds in a row, that's a good place to build from.
Something to start from.
Launching smoke.
Playing chicken a little bit at the mid doors there. No kills, though. We see the attackers spreading back out again a little bit. If they can pick up a kill, I was going to say some jet-on-jet action over there. That's going to really determine kind of where the flank is. We see Dewey actually moving up for the first time. He's been playing pretty defensively back in the site, but he's really ready to loop around on him here when they announce where they are. We see Omen about to run into Brimstone. Yeah, sorry. Drew a blank on the run into Brim. Brim picks up the kill. Attackers in a tough spot now. They lost the Sage there as well, which was, of course, the resurrection, so numbers are going to be the problem. We don't have a ton of utility left for the attackers either. So...
Last player standing.
yeah, a good try, but hard when you're outgunned.
It goes here.
It seems to me like so far, both obviously on the round that they won, but then also on some of the rounds where it's been closer, attackers seem to be having the most luck at C, but for whatever reason seem to really want A and B.
Yep, I think they're too focused on B and need to spread out. You can see Dewey sitting there with his camera. He knows she's about to come up. You'll see he can see her now.
We also see G Sharp's Jet. He wants to flank. He gets called back though. He really wanted to flank, and the attackers had left Omen back there to defend from it. So now the attackers are down, 3-4 here at A.
You can see how effective Dewey is there with his camera.
Ooh. What a thing to observe over into right as the gun goes off.
Last player standing. Spike down mid.
Return to dust.
With the kill pickup, we still have the heal here, and we still have the resurrection. I was gonna say if she could get away, sorry, not she, wrong person, but if Bloomz could get away there, that's
she did have a wall as well. She
switch.
could have walled up that spot and done a revive, so that was interesting.
This is a nice spot.
Dewey's setup here is just really fantastic.
It really is mean. I
Goes
don't think the attackers, although it looks like we're finally going for a B or a C here, but I think the attackers really struggled to identify just what was holding them down so hard at A, which in a word is Dewey. Not because he's a great a great shooter, although he also is that, but his information gathering has been paramount to their success.
Yeah.
You will not kill my
But we have a great opportunity here. We're up 4-3 still, and I don't see Sage's ult up anymore, but I also didn't see anybody resurrect. I don't know what I missed. We see attackers moving in on C. They need to set up defensive positions, though, and get that spike down. Fiora picks up a good kill there. Blue fakes the plant for some reason, but does get it down.
Spike planted.
All right, now we just need to take good angles. Jet watching for the flank down south there. We are potentially spreading the attackers out a little bit too much and losing that numbers advantage. Especially with both of the defenders being low health.
Last player standing.
It's a good pickup from Blue. That's what they needed. That was dangerously close for Hunky, almost flashing himself there.
Very unfortunate.
Switching sides.
And now we have the side switch. So we're going to see, you know, if... Sorry, I don't know why I cannot keep the team straight. If Affinity is now defending, right?
Yes, correct.
If we can see if Affinity can turn this around without that information gathering that we were seeing being so productive for the defenders last time around. It looks like our new attackers here very much picking up on what was going wrong for the other team last time, is going for a full-on 5-man C rush. This is probably going to catch Affinity with their pants down. Although a solid pickup from Smee there, who then manages to get out of the site as well. So gets a kill, gets away. Dewey picks one up over near middle, but that was overall, that was about as good as Smee could have hoped to have done there. Smee gets another kill too. Jet goes down to Fiora. Oh, Smee finally goes down to Hunky there. So 2-2 with the spike down, but that Phoenix is pretty low on health. It's just going to take a...
Last player standing.
Oof. This could be picked up. Yeah, I was going to say, Oma's got full health. Time is not too against him yet either. We've got 10 seconds here for a play, but we see a solid outflank there by Dewey. Oh, what a hold.
Fantastic. And you can see the key difference here in when pushing up through C-side, they lost a team member very early on, but the key difference is they continued to push the site and they got the site locked down. In response, the other team, when they were attacking, when they lost a player, they were idle and they did not get the site locked down. So that's the key difference we're seeing here.
Absolutely. They'd already paid the price, so they might as well take what they paid for.
Exactly.
Oops. Oh, crap. I just clicked out of your view.
No one on B side here.
There we go.
Sage very alone on B side here. We'll need quick backup. And they're already on side.
One enemy remaining. Down mid.
We see the defenders pulling a little Uno reverse here and getting some pretty good flanking after taking a few kills in B.
Cover going out.
So this is not over just yet. Yeah, if defenders can hold like that. That was much better. We see defenders pushing their advantage a little bit here from an economic standpoint, picking up some submachine guns and whatnot, while our attackers are still ecoing here. Also, a walking rotation on the middle. Does Omen see them, though, and call it out? It looks like he did. 1-for-1 trade there as everybody passed through kind of their connections to middle. And defenders rotating over. Did they get over in time, though? If attackers push in the next few seconds, they have the advantage, but that wall really slows them down.
One enemy remaining.
Here.
Spike down A.
sense of confidence has just skyrocketed in Home Depot right now.
Absolutely. That wall was a huge play. It only actually blocked off one person, but I think what it did was they were kind of trying to 3-2-1 go to come out of both sides of the site there, and that wall blocking off that one person caused just enough hesitation. Now we have Hypno trying to pull off the impossible here, sneaking through the map, but that spike is down in about the worst possible spot.
Yeah, just turned her eyes at the wrong time, but still gets that kill. Haven's is definitely a very interesting map for me. You can see we've got C site over here, we've got B site in the middle, and then you've got A site all the way over here. It's one of the few maps with 3 sites, and it's a very interesting map to play.
Yeah, it almost seems like now, admittedly, we're only a handful of rounds in, but it seems like our attackers now are having almost kind of the opposite problem as the attackers last time, which was they're almost completely ignoring B.
Right.
Enemy down. Plant the spike.
Really, not a whole lot to call out strategically there. We just had attackers clicking heads. that was a tough start to the round for defenders.
G-Sharp coming around for this kill.
Match point.
All right, so I would love to see. I'd love to see Affinity. Or wow, I need to write this down. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with this tonight. I did not have trouble with this last time. We need to see our defenders. I'll just go with that. Take just a couple more rounds. It's obviously pretty unlikely that this gets turned around at this juncture for this map, but I'd love to see them just come out of the map with like 6 or 7 rounds under their belts, just to keep that morale up for round 2.
Yep.
Molly.
We see the defender's Omen playing up very far here. I think just waiting for the call from his allies to flank, which might have been made.
Might get a couple.
Going through mid though, not quite as good of an angle for him, so he could get called out before he's able to get the sneak attack that he really wants.
Get out of my
I think everything is about to explode here. Yep. Eden is dead. Holy cow! I don't know what weapon that is, but that was disgusting.
Eden on destruction mode.
Dewey though, wow, picking up some serious kills for himself and threatening a third there before he gets taken down. That was, like I said, that's what we're hoping to see. We want to see 3 rounds here, so let's see if Affinity can't take 2 more. We have 4 ults on the defenders, so as far as resources go,
yep,
they're very well equipped for weapons and armor too. So. And our attackers are stuck on not quite a full eco, but ooh, and actually the attackers identify that we do have a few more buyouts there. So attackers want to seal this one in right now, which I mean, it obviously could work, but if it doesn't, they set themselves up potentially for a rally. Buying out like that is, from a match strategy standpoint, a little bit risky. Attackers leaving Jet out on the flank there. I'm assuming probably wanting to try and use her ult to try and pick somebody up. Oh wait, no, never mind. She does not have her ult. Wrong one.
And got a offside here going towards C site.
Yeah. So how do the defenders rotate out here? They give up a kill, and it seems like they're kind of Oof. I was going to say kind of hiding in place, but the attackers now get the enviable position of defending the bomb.
Might see some flank kills here from Hunky.
Oh.
Yeah, on that.
At this point, I think he's just trying to make Omen stop and think about what he's doing. Which might just slow the defenders down enough. So actually not a bad decision.
Prepare for hellfire.
And the game goes to Affinity.
Very significant hold by Affinity there. That buyout paying off for him. I really hope the that Home Depot can keep their heads up during the locker room phase here and come out of it swinging in round 2. Dewey, of course, coming out on top there in dang near every way. Actually, most kills, lowest deaths, middle of the line assists, but also 3 first bloods, 2 plants, a defuse, and of course not on the stat board, but just the absolute information dominance with the cameras there.
And let's just add in the fact that Dewey here with 24 kills, 6 deaths, his agent was Cypher, and Cypher is an information. He picks up information. He's not meant to be one of those agents that do a 24 to 6 kill. So that is very impressive that he can actually pick up those kills and gain that information. So he played a fantastic game and definitely MVP to him on this game.
Absolutely. That being said, Eden is dead. Actually, coming through pretty well for Home Depot as well. 18 and 16 with 4 assists. So obviously not the ideal score you want to put up, but did manage to put up a positive score on a round, which was, pretty heavily one-sided. So that's good to see. And she got a couple first bloods, a couple plants too. So, maybe the silver MVP trophy for the losing team on that one.
Yeah, definitely some light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
If you want to look at some positivity, Eden did play very well.
All right. So where do we go from here? We've got a few minutes in between matches. What's our timeline look like for that?
So we are looking, let me get back in the party. We are looking like I'm going to let people know we've got about a 5-minute break here. And then we are going to start the next map, which is going to be called Split.
So I don't want to belabor the point too much. Obviously, that game went very well for Affinity. I think what I'm going to be really curious to see, other than just kind of generally what can, what changes can Home Depot make to turn things around for them. But I think very specifically it would be easy to say like, okay, just change up their agent or whatever. But if Dewey takes the same agent and Affinity just sticks him on a site and lets him hold that site for as long as possible with all the info he's generating, what is Home Depot going to do to identify essentially where Dewey is and not go there?
Exactly. I think last week we saw Dewey switching up characters, and Affinity, even though they won the first round last week, they did switch up their characters. I have a strong feeling that they were very confident in that game they just played, and I would be very surprised if it's any too much different than the first game we saw here. And I think Dewey will stick with Cypher because he's a very strong agent on Split. So we'll see what happens there. But for the attackers, generally a bit flabbergasted in how they may change this strategy here. I do feel it was they do need a bit more unified attacking when approaching a site, as opposed to when someone dies, sort of not knowing what to do.
Yeah, I would very much agree. I think we need to see maybe a little bit more commitment would be the way to sum it up.
And Mercy will be starting this next match up in about 15 seconds.
So talk to me about Split. What I don't know if I know that one yet. What would you say is the defining feature of Split?
So Split is definitely interesting. We've got 2 different sites, and you have got you've still got your mid, which is very populated by some teams, and then some teams will not populate the middle at all. I personally dislike Split as it's my least favorite map, because there's not really any surprise angles. You definitely know where someone is going to come from. There's probably either like only 2 or 3 spots that people will come from. So you're not really going to get any surprise kills as many that we saw in Haven. So it's definitely more point and click style for Affinity. So if they can pull through, I definitely think they're going to have a strong team here. And we can already see Dewey's locked in, Cypher as well. And generally exactly the same team here from Affinity, except Hunky has changed from Phoenix to Sage. So we've got less attacking style here and more defensive. Whereas the other team looks fairly different as well. Fiora has changed from Omen, who is defensive, to Reyna, which is one of the most attacking freestyle players. So a shift in play here for Home Depot might see them win a few more rounds or even grab the map.
And Eden taking the last second stage as well, switching off of her agent from last time. So we do see a pretty significant rotation. I guess we're hoping maybe the Reyna is their counter for Omen's vision. But
yeah, Fiora's Reyna will be very, very solid. He's a very solid Reyna player. So I think we're going to see a bit more free-flowing action here in terms of movement for Home Depot.
So structurally, it looks like this map actually not super different from the map that we just moved over from. I never really noticed that before because I have played this one now that I look at it. It just doesn't have that B site in the middle, but the actual setup of like where the paths and whatnot are not significantly different. So we're expecting to see some carnage here over on the A push. We do have that wall separating the attackers, but they push right on through it, just taking A in a swarm. We do have the defenders rotating very quickly as well, though. So attackers not going to have too long to sit on this. Hypno picks up a solid opening kill there, kind of in the exchange. Now, timer on the spike is what? It's 45?
I'm not entirely sure. It would be around 45 seconds.
So, defenders rather, attacking the attackers, do have a few moments here still to figure things out, but not much. Oh, Dewey.
Great
surprise kill, yep. Looks like this one probably going to go to the attackers here.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Yeah, a good try from Fiora, but at this point he's just going to hold his gun if he can get away from the explosion. Yeah.
You can see Fiora with 3 kills there. Very different from Omen. And when people actually go from different sites here, it's very quick to get from A site to B site. So the quick rotations might throw a few people off as well.
So right out the gate again, attackers just hitting A hard. We see Sage trying to retreat to buy time for allies. No significant damage here. Both teams kind of blowing, more or less the same resources, but it does, result in the attackers ending up with the spike down again. A nice lead from Jet, who actually gets away from that situation. Very fortunate for her. Does finally get taken out there by Eden, but defenders again in that unenviable position of attacking their own side.
player standing.
Interesting the way the bodies ended up there. So, I think way more so even than last time around. Tempo. The attackers are not letting up here. I'm assuming we're going to see, yeah, a bomb site rotation over to B. Obviously, only having 2 bomb sites here, we don't have quite as many mental games we can play as far as who's on first, who's on second. But,
Attackers
interestingly,
kind of split up here. They might
yeah.
be. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing here.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see them. I was thinking like, okay, maybe leave the brim over on the side to fake A really quickly, but they commit 2 over there. Not what I was expecting at all.
Rotating straight back through mid.
Defenders might be wising up to this though, because with those first 2 absolute bum rushes and then the fact that they've held up, we're gonna have a conflict right here. Jet somehow gets that smoke on without getting punished for it.
Blocking sight.
Spike planted.
Defenders in a little bit better position this time around, or at least they were before Hypno catches Cherry off guard there, and potentially another kill. Fiora, though, trying to even it back out. So defenders have about, what, probably 15-20 seconds to make a significant move on the bomb. They...
1 enemy remaining.
Oh, I thought that was going to be it. There we go.
Very good round.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see them get on the board early in the match.
Yeah, that was well defended. For a moment there, that Sage rotating around while they cleaned up the Reyna, I was worried how that was going to play out, but they managed to hold it down.
Still 3 on B site and 2 others roaming here, so interesting play.
Yeah, I'm going to be curious to hear how they decided to change it up, because those first 2 rounds were just absolute blitzkriegs. Trying to hold down Smee in the site here. We do have Brim creating a little bit of space though. Defenders rotating over out of A, but the attackers considering a rotation back over to A, so we could have a little bit of a flip-flop here. But a reset around middle, both teams kind of trying to feel things out.
There.
Gonna have Omen run into Sage up here on top above A. Probably with the surprise as well. They are both walking though, so Sage might luck out here.
I know exactly where you are.
So a 1-for-1 for both teams there, but the attackers are making the move on the site. They give up another kill for it though, so this is going to be a harder spike to hold.
Spike planted.
Defenders come rushing over. And Reyna in, I don't know, either the worst or the best possible spot to help here. Reyna needs to come in like yesterday, though.
Great
Well done.
kill.
Well done.
And we're at 2-all.
Did you really expect it to work?
I'm wondering if we're gonna see the defenders relatively quickly, or the attackers, sorry, relatively quickly, and it looks like we are, give up on that strategy. They had insane momentum at the beginning there, and got punished pretty hard for not riding that into the sunset. That being said, we do have the attackers are in a little better position from an economic standpoint, or at least they were. I guess we had a few more purchases. No, we're about even on guns then. For a minute, it looked like defenders were about to half eco. Attackers really setting up for the site here. We have the Sage Wall, of course,
Spike
blocking
planted.
off a good chunk of it. Some Jet Smoke down. We do have a couple ultimates at play here for the attackers, potentially as well. Although their setup on the site is pretty solid. Bender's taking a long time to get over here, though. Although Fiora cleans up 2 and almost a third.
One enemy remaining.
Loop gets another. Wow. I was worried about the timing on that, but just good old-fashioned gunplay gets the job done.
Really set that up for them, Fiora did.
Candy Cherry maybe taking out a little bit of frustration from the last map there.
You can already see that the confidence in Home Depot is just much different now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So kudos to them. You know, dropping around at almost a 1 to 3 rate is not an easy thing to come back from. So it sounds like maybe they were able to, you know, like I said earlier, kind of mentally punt it, if you will. I don't think they gave up, but, you know, kind of like gave up on the frustration aspect of it. And they got over it really quickly coming into round 2 here. Fiora picking up 2 again. And really hitting that momentum. Now the attackers, ooh, and spike down as well.
There.
I was gonna say attackers might be able to do something spicy here, but I think at this point it's all over but the singing. Maybe just do a little bit of eco damage is kind of all they can hope for here.
In sight.
Ooh. Close.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, Reyna just trying to hold on to the gun here. Does get caught at the last minute, though, by Fiora.
And as we can see, with Fiora playing Reyna more attacking style, it's completely opened up his scope and movement here, and we're seeing him completely dominate here for Home Depot.
Absolutely. Much, I have not played Valorant with him, but of course, having played Counter-Strike with him, this agent seems to fit much better with his play style.
Definitely, 100%. Crazy headshot.
Yep. His crosshairs were just waiting for a head to walk into them there. That was, could not have been set up better. We see Eden walling here for to take the high ground from Obi-Wan. Ooh, and manages to hide her position, but Dewey's not having any of it. He knows she's still up there.
Spike planted.
Great walls here. Very good wall.
Careful now.
Last player standing.
Good try. Really rough situation there for Smee getting caught out by the Reyna eye, and then of course Reyna just breaching immediately thereafter. But I'm enjoying this one. 4-3, and not just, you know, because sometimes the numbers don't tell the whole story, but this one really does feel like it's got a much better back and forth. We see a lot more natural rotations. We see a lot better ability use as well coming in from Home Depot. I'm looking forward to this.
They just seem more confident.
Both teams managing their economies very well as well. Both very, very fully equipped here, ready to run at each other. 3 ults on each side as well. Fiora, though, just doing what he's apparently doing right now. Picks up 2 kills all by his onesie.
I know exactly where you are.
Attackers decide to try and commit on B there, but not quite as coordinated as we've been seeing them being. And now they have a 2-3 try and grab on the site here, but the defenders are... Ooh, I was going to say pretty ready to breach, but maybe a slight overcommitment from Fiora there. Before his Viper had rotated around. Speaking of which, Viper taking not an insignificant amount of time to get there.
Don't get in my way. One enemy remaining.
Your duty is not over.
Oh no.
Right.
Unfortunate for Dewey there. Misses a couple shots and runs into some ammo scarcity. Can we get the spike? Oh. He almost held on to that. So defenders do have to commit harder on that as far as ults go. We have 2 coming out from defenders to hold it, but I think it's very worth it for them. They've pretty much secured their economy for really the rest of the round, or the rest of the half, I should say, of the round at this point, because they have several. They have a 3400, a 5400, a 7100, so they can buy out for each other even if they drop a couple rounds here. Whereas we see the attackers, they're kind of bought down at this point. Fiora just picking up kills there. Doing a really, really good job of holding those sites. And now we have the defenders in a very enviable position of really being able to spread out across the map here and wait for info. Not to misrepresent, though, attackers have plenty of time left. If they can make something interesting happen. It does look like the defenders reading the situation correctly, though. Only Reyna holding A. So we have a 4-3 here, kind of around the middle to B area. Both sides just trying to use radio silence to get the drop on each other. This next kill is probably going to decide it. Hunky correctly reads that Eden is hiding behind there. Defenders immediately drop more utility to drive the attackers around, though. So we see them potentially being herded here, and we see the wolf chasing the sheep. Reyna is sprinting around the map to try and get the back door here. I'm a little surprised to see the defenders kind of give up the entrance to B site.
One enemy remaining.
There we go, though. Smee coming in. Wow, with the hat trick. That was looking spicy there for a second. I thought the attackers might get a last moment plant, but the defenders do a fantastic job.
Let's remember, this is the map that they chose to play, so obviously dividends paying off here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see, can we, just stay with Fiora at the start of this round? Because he seems to be picking up 1, 2, even 3 kills kind of right out the gate.
Get out of my way.
Having a little fun playing with his dragon there.
Definitely no action over here, so I'll switch it up.
Yeah, it seems like our attackers identify that Fiora is the new Dewey as far as holding sites, and try and rotate over to B here. Kill trades on middle, nothing too gonna change too much what's happening here. G-Sharp though gets the dagger kill with the devil. Fiora picks up Hypno. We're just trading 1 for 1, 1 for 1, 1 for 1. Attackers do get in on the site though, and Jet picks up another kill with the daggers. Attackers though maybe a little too defensive there. Didn't catch the defenders as they breached. It doesn't matter though. Just hold it anyway. Well done for the attackers.
Not quite sure they know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a little back and forth. I'm wondering if we're going to potentially see them try and mid the B. They've really been mainly bouncing back and forth between the outsides here. And yeah, maybe a 3-2 with a walking mid. Yor gets caught by Jet there. That's a big pickup for them. Not just because he's been playing well here, but that really gives them position on the map. Defenders trying to rotate around a mid. A lot of it's going to come down to, yep, to whether Candy Cherry can hold down anything with that SWAT assault weapon.
Great wall.
Yeah, fantastic wall. Ooh, Shmi gets caught while throwing his flash.
Spike planted.
Yeah, this is an all but impossible retake for our defenders here.
And save their guns here.
Yeah. Yeah, their team is really hurting on cash as well.
Like butter, baby.
Take a little bit on the way out, but I really think it makes more sense here for the defenders to try and back out.
Last player standing.
Hunky too good.
Yeah, I think that one just a miscall there on the strategy. I understand why, right? Because both teams were pretty poor coming out of that round. So if they could have picked up 2 or 3 guns from the attackers, that would have made that not as harsh of a loss. But they double down, and unfortunately, they kind of get smacked for it. Looks like we might see the 5-man bum rush A again here. We haven't seen that really since the beginning. So let's see if Yor is able to keep the spark alive here. Yeah, maybe feeling a little overconfident. Gives up the angle there.
I know exactly where you are.
But sometimes when you're on a roll like he has been, that
Spike
just happens.
planted.
Prepare for hellfire.
Interesting choice on the Brim ult there. It looks like, yeah, Phoenix not picking up on where the enemies are potentially about to get
Last
flanked.
player standing.
Yep.
You will not kill my allies.
Stim beacon here. Open up the sky.
Interesting.
Not sure if it was a wise use of the ult just then.
I think if you were going to go that route, that needed to happen on an escape route. There was no way they were riding that spike into the dirt with a 4v1.
And actually, not too sure because that was the last round. So if you,
True.
Yeah, may as well get rid of it.
Yep, I wasn't paying attention to where we were on rounds. So we see Home Depot now eyeballing a similar strategy at A point at the beginning. Although they walk it, which is an interesting choice. Yeah, defenders rotating. Dewey potentially about to get a flank kill here. Not quite sure where the attacker's Reyna is headed.
Spike down A.
Wall raised.
Good wall.
Pathetic.
Cutting their vision. Parasite.
30 seconds left.
Defenders finally get to defend into the later part of the round here, but there we go. I was gonna say, but give up the spike maybe a little too easily, but I suppose they just wanted their positioning. They didn't care about the spike. They just wanted to hold that angle. Both sides pretty much down to the last drop as far as economy goes, but our defenders decide to double down and buy out on submachine guns. They're hoping to get that momentum early in the second half here. So far, it pays off for him. G-Sharp, I think, mainly gets that kill because of the rate of fire there on the submachine gun. Attackers struggling a little bit, kind of to figure out where to go here. They do get in and get the spike planted, but they pay for it pretty heavily. They have 2 half-health agents who now have to hold this 2v4.
Player standing.
And yeah, there's not a whole lot of mystery as far as where they are. That's definitely one thing about the A site on this map is there's not a whole lot to it. It's one that you almost have to hold further out. If you get into the actual site, you're pretty much
very
only in one
difficult to
spot.
hold on the actual site. Very difficult. Let's see what Jola can do here.
Cutting their vision.
Another rush at A. I was about to say Fiora trying to hold it, but of course Fiora's not holding this time. Fiora tries to take it rather, but attackers getting that spike down early again.
Greg, too good there.
Yep, good pickup. A good surprise kill from Eden there, but Dewey actually manages to live through it somehow. Who's going to... Aha!
Very
well
good
done. That was a close one.
Definitely raise her confidence up a little bit. I love to see it, but looks like we have a strong possibility of going to a third map this round.
Eat your own heart out, Reyna. Watch this.
Attackers send one to fake A, but don't actually really fake A.
It's interesting.
We do see the
They are
bomb. Yeah, I was going to say, starting to rotate back over. That pickup with the jet daggers, though, huge. Both kill, but also the information that they're rotating back over to A. Oddly enough, though, defenders not acting on that information.
Oh, still in sight.
There we go. We have the next clash. The answer out of the anthill. Defenders rushing over to A. Attackers had a little bit of a timing opportunity there that they sort of gave up. They do get the spike down, but I can't help but feel like 5 seconds ago would have been about 15 seconds better.
One enemy remaining.
Very clean wrap up.
Yeah, very well held. Defenders very much spread out here. Luckily for them, attackers playing it pretty slowly, so they don't give up any important picks or anything. Everybody kind of tiptoeing around mid here. Defenders not like insanely far away, but defenders, yeah, are gonna have to rotate. Very interesting. Attackers now doubling back again towards middle. It looks like potentially trying to use the Phoenix to fake at A. Will they go back mid to B? They're going to catch Sage here. Ooh, Sage lives, though, and can now back up and call for reinforcements.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Time is slowly running out.
Yeah. Yep. Surprised to see defenders leaving 2 at A, but they do have time on their side at this point. Phoenix makes use of his ultimate there to get some information and try for a kill. Attackers finally decide they're going to try and close on A, and that is a good call for them. It wasn't where they wanted to go. They really wanted to go to B here. But they'll get the spike down at least and make a play for the point.
Spike planted.
That was strange. My game locked up there for a second.
Poison orb emitting.
And they're all saving their guns, as we can see.
Yeah.
We'll see how many get caught in this.
Poison's off.
I'm kind of surprised to see that call from the defenders, but I guess just really concerned about the situation of the eco.
Yep.
Can someone get thank you?
As soon as that green screen went up, Greg's up was going to be useless, and I don't think they wanted to lose that gun.
Yeah.
So good ult from Viper.
Spike down mid.
A big pickup on the spike carrier there, but the attackers are able to grab it and get out. It's going to be interesting to see. We have Fiora here with the spike, kind of solo pushing B, while the rest of his team tries to kind of hold the enemy down at mid.
Bomb going over to A site.
Yeah, full speed run, probably knives out. They're about to run into Sage here, though, who picks up on what's going on and gets some... Yep, tries to get some... Ooh. A good pickup there from G Sharp. That little bit of extra time from Sage's terrain there, really buying time for G Sharp to pick up the kill.
Toxin screen down.
Last player standing. Spike down A.
Yeah, I think maybe a little
10
too
seconds
cute
left.
from the attackers that time. Bloop just hoping he can hold on to that gun. Attackers in a fairly good position though, economy wise. So obviously they would have rather won that, but that didn't leave them in a a late round eco or anything, or a late in the half eco or anything. And I've got to say, obviously, he picked up a few kills in the last couple rounds, but I didn't realize how good of a round G Sharp was having here. Almost 2 over 1.
Yep.
You will not kill my allies.
Battlefield really getting separated by the various walls here. Defenders not calling for the rotation very early, though. I guess worried that the attackers are gonna throw some utility here and back out to B, but there could be a pretty significant flank coming from Dewey here. Dewey loses the fight to Eden, though. A big kill for the attackers. Hunky, though, pretty much turns that right back around on him and says, no, you.
Spike planted.
With an A site plant, though, having the manpower advantage is going to be really significant for them. And yeah, now defenders have to choose what they want to risk for this. They give up the op that G Sharp had. He will have enough money to rebuy it if he wants to, but that was a significant round for our attackers. And G Sharp does rebuy the op. I'm not too surprised there. I was a little surprised to see our attackers not pick it up, but I guess just feeling confident with the mid-range weapons.
The only person on that team I would see using an op would be Fiora, but I think he's a lot better with a Vandal, so no surprises there.
Defensive kill right out the gate there with the Phoenix that attackers had sent to fake A. Now, it looks like that does actually get a significant defensive rotation to A, but our attackers don't seem to understand the opportunity they have. They need to run into B yesterday. Defenders about to figure out there's no one at A.
And watch how fast they rotate once Dewey sees them on camera. You'll see how fast he communicates with his team. There it is. And look at them. They're all already rotating.
Yep. Yeah, this is just going to come down to gunplay. Eden picks up a kill. Dewey gets Fiora, though. 1 for 1, which our attackers cannot afford. And attackers still have not breached the site. Really being held off by that camera vision.
Toxin screen down. Remove.
A good pickup from Eden, though. Oh, really unfortunate there.
No charges.
Really, that one just came down to wait, was that a res?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure.
Just really unfortunate timing for Sage on the attackers there. The wall, it was a good idea, not a bad decision, just really unfortunate timing. Ten and 10 though. I mean, this is exactly what we were hoping for round 2 here.
And if we do get to 12 all, it is a win by 2 scenario. So
right.
Retreat here.
Attackers again running the 4 left, 1 right. They pick up the kill on Dewey right off the bat, which I think is huge for them for taking this round. They've just been absolutely stymied by his camera vision. So getting him out quickly, they're kind of running over the defenders now.
One enemy remaining.
A good pick up there from Bloop as well, and we've got a Sage. I was gonna say needed to do more than a Sage probably can, but gets a good kill, still at full health. Dream's alive. Wow.
Bloop has her ult at the end here as well, so she can definitely.
Last player standing.
Great kill from Candy. I'm surprised Brimstone didn't actually peek there, because definitely could have used that ult to save that round.
Absolutely.
Well.
We see also, in general, a much more even performance coming out for both teams here. Fiora did have a run in the middle for Home Depot, but you know, things have really evened back out, and I think we're seeing the effects of that is you know, when the standout MVPs that we were having last map and the first half of this one, when they died, things really reversed, and here we're seeing a much more even flow. Attackers pick up a kill crossing mid. Now I'm going to be curious to see where they try and go here. They have to know that Dewey's sitting in B. So do they want to challenge that, or do they want to try and rotate back over to A? G-Sharp picks up a kill there. Attackers, though, they do decide to move into B, so they need to go if they're going to do it, right? The Dewey's information is the most valuable the longer he has it. Ooh. A fantastic Phoenix ult there, makes Dewey give up his position and gets the spike in the site.
Exactly.
Big pickup from G-Sharp though, and really just in general putting the attackers at a disadvantage. That was very well defended. That looked like that was an attacker win, honestly. Not sure if misclick or maybe a little bit of mental games, but yeah, I'm loving how even this is, both on a team, but also, like I said, that individual level. We do see attackers on the low end as far as purchases go, and they decide this is the round. We're buying out. We have somebody at 0, somebody at 100, somebody at 300, somebody at 800. We're going for it. This is make or break for attackers. They have 4 ults. They've spent all their money. They want it. Ooh. Good shooting from Smee, though. Hypno overcommits just ever so slightly there. Phoenix getting some healing going. A good kill for our attackers, but defenders by no means out here. I think this is going to come down. We also have 3 ults on the defenders, so we're going to see ability use play a big role in this one. Dewey rotating out of A could potentially get caught here by Phoenix. G-Sharp though repays the pain. We see our attackers struggling to capitalize on their buyout here. They're about to get caught. Oh, Dewey backs up. It looked like we had Jet and Reyna about to come in and hit at the same time as Dewey, but G-Sharp does finally go down, but not after doing significant damage to our attacker's plan here. 30 seconds left to get the bomb down, or the spike, sorry, Counter-Strike player. If our attackers can pick up Reyna, they could rush in and plant, but they have to go now, now, now.
They need to get Reyna, and she's holding back.
Welcome to my world. 10 seconds.
We see the Viper ult committed for it, trying to get in and plant on the site. I believe it takes 5 seconds for the spike, though. I think
4 seconds. Yep, 4 seconds.
or 4. Okay.
Last player standing.
It was a good try, but just barely not enough time.
Match point.
That leaves our attackers in a tough spot.
Very tough spot here. We've got match point, and they cannot afford full weaponry. It's going to be tough from here.
We have the op on G-Sharp. We know where. Actually, we don't know where he's going with that. He's looking middle with that. They want an early pick. I could potentially see our defenders here hoping for that op pick and then just rushing.
Yep.
Attackers, though, decide they're all in on B, but we have to see them. They know Dewey's here. They know it. So they've got to go. Defenders trying to rotate over. Attackers have, about a 10-second window here. They need Spike down. There we go. Defenders are coming. Spike is down before defenders get here. It's going to be a 4-on-4. We see the defenders not pulling off the res from the Sage, nor the attackers, actually. So that is probably going to be a match.
And there we have it, guys.
It was a good try. Second map there was very exciting. I would have loved to have seen that be first map. Be rolling into map 2 here. But our defenders hold on to that despite a very shaky middle game there.
That was definitely a much more entertaining match to watch. Very close there, and it sees Affinity move into the grand final. We've got the second semifinal for the Nano-Swarm tournament tomorrow night, and the grand final is going to kick off next week on Saturday. But one key note is it's going to be best of 5, so it's going to be a bit longer for that grand final, but we'll see what happens.
As far as this match here goes, a lot harder to pick an MVP, or even kind of team lead for either team, because we had a lot more give and take. Fiora obviously had a significant run for his squad in the kind of the middle game there. 6 plants for Dewey. I actually didn't realize he had 6. That's pretty significant. I know it's going to sound like a broken record after map 1 there, but I can't help but feel like Dewey's Omen is still the standout agent in this case. It was just controlling the flow so much. Every time our attackers tried to break into his site, it went disastrously for them.
Just the information that he gained was just exceptional, and stood back when he needed to, and fought as well on those one-on-ones. But as soon as he felt there was a rush of about 4 of them coming in at once, he knew to take on his opponents one-on-one and not get outnumbered. So very good effort on picking up information and fighting battles that were meant to be fought. Yeah. I will say credit to credit to his opponents there. They made him pay for it a lot more this time around. He was barely 1-to-1 for kills. So they did make it worth their while, at least a little bit better when they challenged him. But I still feel like just a little bit too slow into his cameras. If you're going to go, it's go, exactly.
Go.
And as soon as he gets you on camera, we saw a couple of rounds there. As soon as he saw on camera, you could see everyone moving a second later. So that communication was extremely fast.
Yeah.
And he had back up very quickly, even if he died.
Yep. So yeah, I think good plays there periodically from really most of our players. A good run by Fiora. Obviously G-Sharp coming out on top as far as kills go, but I've got to say, for me, like overall MVP, still Dewey on Omen.
100%.
If you're tuning in late and you want to know what's going on into the tournament, it looks like we're going to have Affinity Gaming versus the winner of Among Us and Bapa Op, which is probably my favorite team name ever.
And we'll see how we'll see. That would be very interesting. Among Us, different team name here, but they were pretty much the team that won the last tournament. So a very strong team, who slightly pulled away from Cheesecake Factory in that first round, and should be favourites to beat Bop or Wop tomorrow night. And Affinity Gaming and Among Us, definitely, I would have to say, the two strongest teams in the tournament. So if those two teams pull through, we'll definitely have a good match to watch.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Bloomz. Really appreciate it. If it works out that we are together again tomorrow, it was a pleasure. I'd love to do it again. But if not, it'd be great to see Eden again. Or, of course, for anybody who doesn't know, Subhuman, not only founder of Affinity Gaming, but also my cousin in real life. So it'd be a lot of fun to share Shoutcast that with him. I know he's been insanely busy IRL the last few weeks, so I don't know if it'll go that direction or not, but if it does, that would be a ton of fun. If not, it'd be great to have either Eden or Bloomz back. So it's kind of a win no matter what.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for having me, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out. We really appreciate you. Have a great rest of your evening. We will see you tomorrow for Minecraft, then No Man's Sky, then finishing things up with Subnautica for our normal stream. And then, of course, we've got the second half of the semifinals here for the Nano-Swarm Haze tournament. Take care, everybody, and be excellent to each other.